if you didn't watch my last video, basically I started a new series where I built a house on each new Bloxburg plot that like corresponds with the land on that plot. So today we're here in the beautiful Riverside estates. And you know what, I kind of want to build one of those like all glass, cozy, small houses. So basically my inspiration pictures are like this. I want it to feel kind of like that. Now I don't want this house to be very big, so I'm thinking this house can literally be like 6 by like 8. I think I want to have the entrance on like the side here, so like the front can be all like windows. Now I want to do one of those roofs that people keep asking for, that's like a hollow gable roof. I found this hack that instead of using basic shapes, it's supposed to be much easier. So you know what, we're gonna try it. So basically the hack is that you use these structural beams instead. After like an hour, that's this side done. And honestly, that was better and probably cheaper than basic shapes. You know what? Never using basic shapes again. Alright, well, that's the roof done. And honestly, wait, that was so much better than basic shapes. It was kind of expensive, but now the hardest part about this is probably going to be doing the roof. Now, if you color these a bright color like blue, then you'll be able to see them better just while you're like scaling them. You know what? No, that actually wasn't as hard as I thought. Okay, so this is the house. What do we think? Now, this needs to be a very long, dramatic path up into this house because it feels like it's in the middle of nowhere. Living in one of these like tiny houses, like one exactly like this, is my dream. So if you live in a house like this, then look out because I am coming for you. Why is this path so skinny? No, this has to be on Ozempic or something. You know, honestly, this doesn't look too bad, but what's a must-have is some trees. If you have this house, but your garden isn't full of trees, then you're doing it wrong. No, because genuinely, why are trees like so expensive in Bloxburg? No, because why does that genuinely look really scary? Like, just imagine walking down this and then like something jumps out at you and murders you. You know what? This is like extremely dark. You know what? Let's add some of these gloomy lanterns. You know what if we change this to night? What does this look like? Ooh, wait, you know what? This house looks better at night. You know what? We need like a porch that like wraps around the house right here. But the real question is, what do we even add back here? Ooh, wait, I know. Definitely a bonfire. Okay, moving inside. Well, I just realized, how are we gonna have the bathroom when this whole entire house is windows? Didn't really think about that. I'm thinking these 2 walls are gonna have to go, and then we can have the bathroom just here. Good morning. It's a new day, which means it's time for work. Shut up. No one cares. I'm filming a video right now. Okay, first room I want to work on is this living room. Like I said in my last video, I love this fireplace because it doesn't take up too much space and it's really cozy. Even though this living room is literally the biggest living room, I still want to be very space efficient. You know, to give it that extra bit of like oomph, we can even add like a chimney. You know, I absolutely hate these couches, but I think I'm gonna add them today because I just kind of like them today. You know, today's just a little bit different. You know, I want this living room to look like really comfortable. Alright, you know, if we're going for like a rustic vibe with the living room, we can even add like plaid because I feel like plaid looks rustic. It just reminds me of a ski resort. You know, to make this more homey, we can even have this like spilled coffee mug here. Wait, there's a smiley face inside of it? That's actually adorable. Alright, now we need to move on to the kitchen. You know, what if we have like a black kitchen, like black and gold? Kind of like that. You know what? I don't think I'm even gonna have like cabinets on the top row. I think I'm just gonna have a couple shelves for some extra storage, but I think that's it. You know, I would add a fridge, but I feel like it'd ruin our view. So you know what? We're gonna have this mini fridge. And that's our kitchen. Wait, you know what? We need to add a hood so we don't like burn down the house because currently this house is completely made out of wood. And you know what? I forgot an entryway, so let's just add a small little entryway right here. And you know what? We can have our little slippers right here. You know what? I just realized I forgot to add stairs. We kind of need those. Okay, the next room we need to work on is this bathroom. You know what? This bathroom's kind of small and I never do this, but you know what? I think we're gonna add a pre-built shower. You know what, we're literally gonna add the toilet paper above the toilet. Okay, now it's finally time to work on the upstairs. It's so difficult that I can't turn the roof off because it's freaking made out of structurals. You know what, I'm gonna make this bed entirely out of plaid because I feel like plaid looks rustic and I feel like it just looks comfortable. I feel like we're gonna need some fences if we don't want like a lawsuit here. It's bothering me how there's gaps like in the fences at the ends, but that's not going to let us because if we have a fence, it's going to go through the roof. You know what? We can have our clothes here. You know what? We can just have a laundry basket right here to make it more homey. All right, well, that's the house all done. So I guess let's have a tour of it. Okay, so if you walk up this extremely spooky footpath, you are greeted by the door. And if you walk in the door, then you may or may not hit your head like into this staircase. And then this is the living room. Honestly, this living room didn't turn out too bad because honestly, I feel like it's really like cozy and homey. And honestly, I would have this as my living room. Then we have this kitchen. Even though it's kind of basic, I really still love it. I feel like it's just really... And this is the dining area. Now, don't mind how the bathroom's really basic. Felt like I was running out of money. I feel like it feels very rustic, and I feel like that's kind of what I was going for with this house. Why did it struggle to like close the door? So if you go up here, this is the bedroom. You may or may not hit your head on this TV, but you know, it's okay because then look at this view. Can't really see it from here, but there's like a river here. So I mean, I guess that's kind of a nice bonus. What if we change the weather to be thunderstorm? Just look at that. So that was me building a cabin in Riverview Estates. Hope you guys enjoyed the video and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.